With the new Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus having knocked the doors of human health and conflicting reports about its severity and impact, what we must not forget is that dengue has had a severer impact this year, especially in children. Isolated cases of Zika virus were also reported from the country this year, and we must have a better understanding of this virus, and so shall I discuss this virus in this video. It was first identified in a rhesus monkey in the tropical Zika forest in Uganda in 1947, and hence the name Zika virus. In 2015, separate associations were revealed between Zika virus and GBS, that is Guillain-Barré syndrome, and Zika virus and microcephaly. So these are the two major neurological complications which we must remember with this virus. And in India, this virus was first isolated from Kerala. Now, what a pediatrician must definitely know is the basic epidemiology. That is, it is also referred to as ZIKV or ZVD, and it is a single-stranded RNA virus belonging to the genus Flavivirus, to which other viruses like dengue, chikungunya, yellow fever, and West Nile virus also belong to. The vector is a female Aedes osteomyia mosquito, and the species can be Aedes aegypti, albopictus, or henselae. It is a day biter, active most commonly for approximately 2 hours after sunrise and for several hours before sunset. The male does not bite humans or animals. They breed in man-made containers, that is water storage containers like coolers, discarded buckets, plastic containers, etc. Why? Because water stagnates in them and sometimes for more than even a week. So these mosquitoes prefer to lay eggs on the surface of clean water. Now, what is meant by clean water? We've been reading these terms through our SPM days of MBBS, but we don't actually know the meaning of this. Clean water is water having no other living species. It is an indiscriminate nervous feeder, that is, it keeps on feeding whosoever it encounters. It feeds several times to complete the full blood meal. The reservoir of this virus, however, is unknown. The transmission, as we've already seen, is by the bite of an infected female Aedes mosquito. But what is worrisome route of transfer for we pediatricians is that it can also be transmitted by the maternal fetal route, which can either be congenital, that is intrauterine, or perinatal, that is when a woman is infected with Zika virus within 2 weeks of delivery. This is the most dangerous route of transmission because it has the lethal complications. Then sexual route is also there, from an infected person to his partner and via blood transfusion. But thankfully, even though the virus has been detected in breast milk, transmission has not been reported through breast milk. And as we know, the benefits of breastfeeding outweigh any risk of transmission. Breastfeeding is not withheld in these patients. The incubation period is 3 to 14 days. It is usually asymptomatic, seen in up to the tune of 80% cases of Zika virus. But symptomatic cases can be self-limiting most commonly. Other common features are fever, skin rash, conjunctivitis, arthralgia and myalgia, malaise and headache for 2 to 7 days. Just similar to complaints of dengue or any other viral illness. And other slightly uncommon features are retroorbital pain, edema of extremities, anorexia, vomiting, sore throat, cough, aphthous ulcers, and lymphadenitis. Now, this scene is a comparison between the clinical features of the common flaviviruses, that is Zika virus, dengue, and chikungunya, because they have a number of clinical features identical. What we see is that fever, rash on day 1 or day 2, non-purulent conjunctivitis, and arthralgia. These are the prominent symptoms of Zika virus. So, any patient presenting with these symptoms must be investigated for Zika virus. As we have already seen, the two major complications are neurological. The common complications in newborns or fetuses are microcephaly. Therefore, the exposed females should have antenatal ultrasounds every 4 weeks, and a fetal brain MRI may be required because microcephaly is a severe complication. Congenital Zika syndrome has also been reported. Now, syndrome is a constellation of signs, and these are severe microcephaly, clubfoot, hypertonia, a possible retinal damage, and decreased brain tissue. Decreased brain tissue, that is microcephaly. Then fetal death, placental insufficiency, and neurological abnormalities. All these have been reported in fetuses and newborns. In the older age group, that is beyond the neonatal period, patients can suffer from Guillain-Barré syndrome and meningoencephalitis and myelitis, but these again are more common in the adult age group, not in that pediatric age group. But what is important for us to remember here is that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has clarified that deaths are slightly uncommon in Zika virus. So what we need to worry about the complications. The diagnosis is based on 4 tests. First is reverse real-time PCR. Reverse because it is an RNA virus. It is done in the serum or urine during the first 2 weeks of illness. Then it can be diagnosed by immunohistochemistry to diagnose the antigens on the tissue samples. Then IgM and other neutralizing antibodies for up to 12 weeks of illness onset, but currently it is not recommended for diagnosis per se. And plaque reduction neutralization test, which is detection of virus-specific neutralizing antibodies in paired sera samples. The treatment is generally conservative, which comprises of rest, hydration, and symptomatic treatment like paracetamol for fever and antihistamines for pruritus. But one must remember that we must avoid non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, especially in children less than 6 months of age, until we are sure that it is not dengue because it has a thrombocytopenic side effect. So important do's for preventing this virus infection is, for preventing the mosquito breeding, we must cover all water tanks, dispose of unused containers, and introduce larvivorous fish in aquariums at home. Then there is a concept of weekly dry day, which is obviously not related to alcoholism. In a lighter vein, it is like emptying the containers holding water and exposing them to sunlight. And the important do's for personal protection are full sleeve clothes during daytime and using mosquito bed nets. And we must not allow water to stagnate in and around the house, throw broken utensils, empty bottles, or old tires in the open. Hope we now have an idea fair enough to diagnose and manage a child with Zika virus disease. The management is basically conservative, no definitive treatment is available. Thank you so much for a patient watching, and do share the knowledge. Thank you.